Howdy, folks. I'm Eerie Europium, eccentrically entertaining, endearing endives.
I'm Amber.
And, folks, here are more endearing endives for us to entertain. And I'm not really sure why we're taking vegetation and entertaining it, but that wasn't my decision. Let's get started. Oh, and folks, today we have a live stream at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. See the end of the video for more details. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Wanting My Husband to Sleep in the Same Hotel as His So-Called Work Wife? My husband travels a lot for work, and I recently found out that one of his coworkers calls herself his work wife. My husband was the one to tell me about it, telling me how he wasn't really comfortable with the name, but deals with it since he doesn't want to upset her. I won't lie, hearing him say that someone is calling themselves his work wife really made me mad. Even though I know that I can trust him, it makes my blood boil, knowing that there's a woman who's at his workplace definitely knows that he has a wife calling themselves his work wife. My husband has to go on a trip for work, and he had just told me that he has to share a room with her. Let's just call her Jenna. I told him that I wasn't comfortable with him sleeping in the same hotel room as Jenna, and that he assured me that it would be fine. I trust him with my life, so I let him go. I feel like I shouldn't be jealous. It's such a stupid thing to be jealous about. Am I the jerk? Edit. Thank you everyone so much for the support. Since I'm basically finding out that my husband might be cheating on me, I won't be on for a little while just to relax a bit before he gets back and tries to process everything. I will update when I can. Thank you so much. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, I don't think Opie's a jerk in this situation. This husband is acting very sus. Like, it is not standard company policy to put opposite sex, co-workers in a room together.
Yeah, I would think that generally a company, if they're going to pay for hotel rooms, they're going to pay for separate ones. I think that this would be a sexual harassment suit. If the company did this knowingly, right?
Yeah, like, it's one thing, like, if it was a married couple or something, but to take a married dude on top of that and put him in a room with a woman who's not his wife, like, that just seems very sus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they made the hotel arrangements if that's the case, right? And he's just trying to cover for himself because it seems like he wants to have this excuse like, oh, we were just sharing a hotel room, blah, 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 right?
Well, and OP clearly is a very trusting individual, and he is unfortunately using that and abusing her trust to be like, oh, yeah, it's not me, it's just my company. Oh, sorry, there's nothing I can do.
Well, you notice that every single action here is something that's happening to him. He is distancing himself from all of the actions, right? Oh, she's the one who's calling me the work wife, or his work wife, right? Oh, I didn't arrange this room. It's someone else who did this. So it's very much distancing himself from the actions.
Well, and also, like, if her calling him, like, saying that she's his work wife was making him uncomfortable, that could be sexual harassment.
Yeah.
He could report it to HR, like, you don't just have to grin and bear it. And, I mean, I know there are bad situations, but, like, I feel like he's just using that as an excuse in this case.
Yeah, I think he's probably just cheating, it seems like. I mean, I hate to jump to that conclusion, but I don't have a lot of other reasons why somebody would, one, insist upon sharing a hotel room, not correct someone about being their work wife, all those kinds of things. It just seems, from those two bits of information, it's not a lot to go on. Does not give me warm fuzzies. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Pinel 2016 says, he's lying to you. Both my husband and I have been on work trips and have never had to share a room with anyone. A work friend and I decided to share a 2-bedroom, 2-bath suite at an extended stay hotel once for a 10-day trip, but that was 100% our idea. I'm really sorry. And OP replies, don't be sorry, I'll figure something out. Thank you so much. And Aloha Trouble says, not the jerk. I've had to go on a business trip and everyone always gets their own room. I've never heard of anyone having to share a room with a coworker. And OP replies, this is just what he told me. And Winterfront 1431 says, I have never in my life have I known a company sending people on work trips and making a man and a woman share a room. Their relationship is 100% inappropriate. And if they aren't sleeping together yet, they will be. He's talking out of his butt. And work wife is so disrespectful. And OP replies, I love him a lot, so I hope he isn't lying to me. He's on the trip right now, so I can't really talk to him at the moment. Luckily, it's only about a week, so I'll be able to talk to him soon. Not that probably OP wants to talk to them soon. I feel so bad for OP here.
It's such a bad situation.
Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Failing to Realize That I Wore a White Blouse to a Wedding? I was invited to my brother's wedding. Our relationship is okay. We don't talk much because we live in different parts of the world. The wedding was 2 weeks ago, and I flew in a week beforehand. I was not in the bridal party or anything like that. I also don't really have a relationship with his wife. So there should be no bad blood between anyone. The dress code was fancy. It didn't say much more. The only thing it said was no indigo blue dresses or white dresses as well as no velvet red suits, as those were the colors of the wedding party. I hate dresses. I've never worn one since I was 13. For fancy wear, I only wear suits and pantsuits and one pieces, etc. For my own wedding, I wore a very nice white pantsuit. For this occasion, I chose a normal black suit, vest, and a suit jacket. White blouse, black heels, slicked hair, and some toned down makeup. No tie, but a nice necklace. I looked good, but in no way bridal or upstagey. And to be honest, most men had the same outfit on, sans heels, which is why it never crossed my mind that I was doing something wrong, till after the food and everything was going well. I had noticed that the bridal party kept bumping into me somewhat often, but it really hit the fan when I took off my vest because I had spilled something on it. Then the bride's family and friends started to be more hostile towards me, culminating in the bridesmaid dumping red wine on me. I was mad, but I pretended like it was a genuine mistake and didn't say anything. Since then, my brother has called me 3 times. Once to tell me that I really messed up his wedding, the second was to demand that I apologize, and the third, which was like 4 minutes later, not even leaving me time to write his wife, telling me that I am dead to him until I make this up to him. My husband and mother are bewildered by this. My father says that I should have had more foresight in seeing as how I'm a woman, and I wore white to a wedding. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Like, if the guys are able to wear white shirts to the wedding, then anyone should be. Like, it's not like OP came in anything bridal white, and it's not like there was absolutely, like, usually white shirts are kind of the exception to the no white at weddings rule.
Well, I think that the point of no white dresses is so that no one confuses you for the bride, right? If you're wearing a pantsuit with just like a jacket and a white shirt and black pants, no one is going to be like, I bet that person's the bride. Even like with OP's own wedding, she wore an all white pantsuit, right? Which kind of indicates like that it's going to be something that's a little more dressier, a little more flashier and fancy, right? So I don't think that OP was in the wrong for wearing a white shirt. They should have said no white shirts if they didn't want people wearing white shirts.
Right, and it's kind of bogus that like they let all the guys get away with it, but OP they're like, oh, clearly you're doing this upstate this bride. Let me throw wine on you. Like, again, if they didn't have problems with anyone else who was in a white shirt, then it just seems like sexist and like they were singling OP out.
Yeah, I really feel like that's the case here. Plus, her brother knows that she doesn't wear dresses. So if they had had a problem with that, they should have put that in her, RSVP and be like, please do not wear a white shirt. So I don't know. Like, I don't feel like OP did anything wrong here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Owls and Cardinals says, not the jerk, I too am bewildered. It sounds like your outfit was predominantly dark in color and obviously was not a wedding dress or a bridal garb in any ways. The behavior of those who were offended at the wedding is atrocious and disgusting. Even if you had indeed made a faux pas that they seem to think you did, that would have been ridiculous or inappropriate treatment. I'm sorry that you were held to a ridiculous standard. Does your family dynamic historically involve statements like, you're dead to me? What does your brother even mean by making it up to him? They want you to grovel. I mean, they honestly just sound like extraordinarily easily triggered, unkind, and mean. And OP replies, "No, my family has been really chill my whole life. I would not classify us as a dramatic family whatsoever, and I have no idea. I'm blocked, so it's not like I could ask." Alright, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. Amber, she has another jovial Bob sign joke. It's our favorite.
What is 10 feet tall, has two heads, and goes click click?
A giraffe. I mean, that was too easy. I mean, 10 feet tall, two heads,
Yeah,
and a giraffe.
I don't think most giraffes have two heads.
Yeah, they do. Those little, like, they have like a face, but then they have, the things.
Horns are not heads, or whatever those things are. But the answer is a ballpoint monster.
A ballpoint monster? I don't get it.
Like a ballpoint pen, but a monster. That's where the click click comes in.
I mean, I get the click click now, but I mean, I guess okay, it's a monster.
So it has to have two heads. That clearly
Yeah.
signifies monster and 10 feet tall.
But what I'm stuck on here, I'm gonna explain my reasoning here. A pen, if we were assuming a pen, like this pen for instance, which is a clicky pen,
Mm-hmm.
was 10 feet tall,
Yep.
I do not see two heads on this.
Well,
I
that's
see
why it's a ballpoint
one.
monster, not a ballpoint
One.
pen.
I see one head, and that's what I'm sticking to. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday! We made it to the end of the week, folks, but it's not over yet because we have a live stream later today, so we hope to see you all then. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a slogan for our company.
We do have business trips, but if your spouse says they have to share a room with their work wife coworker, that's on them.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all later today.
Bye.